Welcome to Strata Tree Gear. Today we are talking about manipulating throw line, throw weight in the tree so you can get that perfect tie-in point. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want more of this sort of content. All you arborists out there, your support makes all the difference to this channel. So the first big challenge of climbing SRT, but tree climbing in general, is getting a good tie-in point. We'll have another video at some point here about how to choose where to set your tie-in point, but let's just say you know what you want. And that can be a challenge, getting your tie-in point set just right. Sometimes if you're planning on base anchoring, you know you want to send it through quite a bit of the canopy so that you're distributing the load through the tree, or let's just say you've got one really good central tie-in point with a nice strong union that you want to get your rope up and over, but it's hard to isolate it. There are some tricks you can use for isolating branches and for getting just the right shot, or for maneuvering your rope after it's in the tree to get it in place to where it's not going to slip, or to where it's not caught on small branches that'll break when you're moving around, all those sorts of things. So I'm going to show you just a couple of tricks here with this video, and there'll be more to come. So to demonstrate, I'm going to be showing you guys on this little live oak. Obviously, this isn't a tree I'm going to climb. It's just a good demonstrable canopy. It's a little bit quirky, and it can show you some of the things that you can do in order to get the tie-in point you want. So I'm going to pretend for now that I want to get up here on this branch, nice and high. Say I'm going to do some work down here. We're pretending this is bigger scale than it is. I want to get up there on that branch. Now, one of the ways I can do it is I could stand from directly below and try and throw the weight up and over directly. Obviously, this is small, so I'm able to do that. Sometimes that's not an option. Sometimes it's really difficult to shoot straight up and hit a spot. And that is often the case. So let's just say I've only got this angle from back here. Well, I can make the shot really easily from back here with my big shot or by throwing it. But now I'm over a couple of branches. And let's just say this branch that I'm over is a little bit floppy. I don't really trust it. Maybe it's damaged, maybe it's compromised. And I want to isolate that branch so I can set a canopy anchor around it. One of the first things I'm going to try to do is I'm going to bring the weight back up. Maybe I'll tie on a second weight sometimes if I need it, but I'll bring the weight back up and I'll start giving it little light tugs to get that weight swinging. That one's not going to cooperate for me at all, is it? So I'm going to pull it really hard and get the weight out, call it good, throw it again. Can't tell you how many times you do that. So go back, shoot it through, get it through both. Oh look, that time I cleared the other branch. But for the sake of the example, I'm going to go ahead and pull it up through, let it swing. Maybe encourage a little bit of swing by how I'm pumping the rope. And then I'm going to try and get it up and over that little branch. Ooh, one more time. Just like that. And I was able to isolate that side of the branch. Now, unfortunately, I'm still over two, and this one's on my side. Well, there's things you can do for that too. One of the tricks that I like to do is I will pull the whole throw line through the tree until I get to the other end of it. And I'll take the throw weight off, swap it to the opposite end, and then do the same trick that I just did on the other side in order to get it over this little branch. I've got a 200-foot throw line here, and I don't want to deal with getting it all the way to the end. Well, yes, I will. I'll just show it, because this is the way I like to do it. It's safer. I can midline attach a couple of weights right here and pull it up and over and have it drop, but it's a little bit risky because you got all this extra tail. But it has the advantage of being able to retrieve your line sometimes as well, if it doesn't quite go as you hope. So now I got my weight on here. I'm pulling on the opposite side and pull the weight up and over, and now I'm going to let it back down. So now I've got the rope isolated around the branch that I was shooting for. Here's where you can set your canopy anchor, whichever canopy anchor suits your fancy. We've got a great video talking about a few of my favorites, if you want to check that out on my channel. So now we've got these two. We're around the branch we want, we're good to go, mission success. We can go ahead and pull our line through and start climbing. But let's try another scenario here. Let's say we want to use a canopy or a basal anchor because we've got a big spready tree and I know I'm going to have to come up one side, deal with some branches up here, and then I want to come to the ground. I'm going to go up the other side and deal with some branches over here. A base anchor is a great way to do that. A lot of times I'll bring myself way outside the edge of the canopy and I'll use the big shot to shoot it right through the middle of everything. And so that's essentially what I'm going to try to demonstrate here. So there we go. I've managed to shoot it way through this tree. I've landed one good union here, and I'm a little ways above a good union farther back, but it's in generally the right location. What I need to do now is get it out of the other tree that I landed into over there, because that's what happens when you shoot from way back. You end up in 3 trees or 4 or who knows what. And once again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by just slowly pulling the rope back, and I'm going to watch that weight as it comes through these other branches. As it gets snagged, I'll try and get a little bit of a swing to it. Not enough so that it wraps, but just enough so that I can get around some of these branches. And I'm going to use little pulses while maintaining tension in order to sort of finagle it through the tree. Now I've mostly gotten it out of the third tree, and there we go, it popped through. And now I'm going to drop it. So here's a scenario where I got the branch I wanted, but I'm going to have trouble getting my rope situated back down in the union. I don't want to put all my weight on this lever way out away from the trunk. I want my weight closer to the central union of the tree. So right now, I'm not going to be able to manipulate this throw line and get it over there without a lot of trouble. But I'll bet I can manipulate my climb line and get it over there. And so sometimes the best way to deal with a situation like this is just pull your climb line through and then try and get it in place. So we'll try that real quick. So the important thing to note is that I'm not just sliding the rope over, I'm not whipping it, I'm throwing a loop. And that's how I describe it, because that's more what it is. I'm making a little loop and I'm throwing it up. So I'm going to get a little bit of movement here, and then I'm going to throw this loop up and over that branch. Hopefully you'll be able to see that in the slow-mo. Well, thank you for joining us. Hopefully that helps make some sense out of manipulating your throw line and some of the ways that you can isolate branches for those bomber tie-in points. That'll make your climbing faster, safer, more efficient if you can be good at that, especially for you guys who know SRT, the single rope technique. It makes all the difference in the world having a good tie-in point. So hope you found that valuable. Be sure to like, subscribe, and if you want to support the channel, you can do that by just buying some of your equipment through my Amazon links. That is helpful to me, or sign up on Patreon. Any contribution is helpful, and we've got a few faithful donors there already, and many thanks to you guys. You're making this happen. So catch you guys next time. Thanks for the support.